Hi dear students, all class 10 standard students. I am here with one video of employability skills topic ICT skills, information and communication technology skills. Previously I have uploaded only PPTs, but for this topic I feel that I should have with you people this conversation type of teaching, so that will be more effective. So let's start with our first part of ICT skills. So let us see, this is once again I want to tell you people, this is the part of employability skills which is common for IT and FMM students. So everyone should do study of this particular topic very seriously, very carefully. Let us start this ICT skills part first. Session 1 is their operating system. An operating system is the basic software which controls the computer. It controls entire operations of the computer system. It serves as an interface between the user and the computer. That is called as operating system. So functions or operating system, let's see, some functions are there which are carried out by the operating system in computer system. It manages all the devices of a computer and keeps track of all the status, all activity status of the device, whether it is busy or not. It also checks whether the device is functioning properly or not. Next, it also controls software resources of the computer. It manages the computer memory and keeps track of it, which memory space. Memory space can be tracked by operating system. That is also one of the function of this operating system. It is in used space, memory space is in use by which program and which space is free. That is also checked by operating system. It manages the structure of the files and directories on a computer system. It keeps track of the amount of disk space used by the specific file. It allows you to create, copy, move and delete files or folders. So these are some functions of operating system, and this operating system is very, very important for any computer system. Let us see some types of operating system. DOS, which was very, very oldest one, we can say, disk operating system. Second one is their Windows, which we are till now we are using. It is an operating system developed by Microsoft company. Linux, it is an operating system designed for personal computers. It is a free and open source software. It is free of cost, available on internet. You people can download it without any license, and if you know the idea about the programming or coding knowledge, you can make some changes as per your requirement in this Linux operating system. Then mobile operating system, which is used by most of the people, smartphones I am saying. So in that, Android, which is very popular or more in number, Symbian, which is little bit outdated nowadays, Windows phones, and iOS. iOS is there for Apple's phone, iPhones. So these icons, these logos I have kept this one. You can see this picture. Let's see that one by one operating systems, how they are classified in different operating system as per their working, as per their operation. So first is their interactive, that is GUI, graphical user interface based operating system. A graphical user interface is a user friendly operating system in which commands can be entered by clicking or double clicking or right clicking a mouse. With the help of mouse we can use this. Windows operating system is an example of an interactive operating system. Interactive, it means we are going to communicate with the computer with the help of keyboard and mouse. Mostly the mouse is the best or powerful tool in this operating system. Single user, single task operating system. This type of operating system allows only one user to do a task on the computer and one thing at a time. At a time only one thing can be done on the particular system. That was called as single user, single task operating system. Then single user multitask operating system. This type of operating system is used on desktop computers, laptops, where a single user can operate on several programs at the same time. For example, Windows, Apple, Mac OS, means Apple's Macintosh operating system, Windows operating system are the examples of single user multitask operating system. Multitask means number of tasks can be performed same time. Like I am typing something on my PC, same time I can listen some songs, same time behind the screen something is getting downloaded, something is getting installed, like this multitasking. Multi-user. A multi-user operating system enables multiple users to use or work on the same computer at different times or simultaneously. Same time also or at different times also. The best examples are there: servers, server operating systems. One PC handling many computers, the same one single operating system can handle these all PCs. Next is the real-time operating system. A real-time operating system is used to control machinery, scientific instruments like robots, in complex animations and computer-controlled automated machines. A real-time operating system is a computing environment that reacts to input within a specific period of time. It manages the resources of the computer so that any particular operation is executed in the same amount of time every time it is executed. Examples: Windows CE and Linux OS are examples of real-time operating system. Next is their next and last, distributed operating system. Distributed operating system runs on a set of computers that are interconnected by a network. It combines thus different computers in the network into a single integrated computer and the storage location. Windows, Unix, Linux are the example of distributed operating system. So this distributed operating system is mostly we can see at some banks, some companies, that by central place that work is controlled, that one single server, big powerful machine can control number of other computers, that is called as nodes. So like this is the distributed operating system. Let us move ahead with the Windows 7 operating system, which was used most of the time. Even in our school also we are using the same one right now. Windows 7 is an operating system developed by Microsoft and is used on personal computers, even laptops also. After loading Windows 7, the first screen that appears on the monitor, that is called as a desktop. From the desktop you can access different components of Windows 7. By default, Windows 7 has a picture for the desktop. One picture is there on the desktop background, that is called as wallpaper. That you can change it. You can keep that setting also, that after some interval it will change. Small pictures on the desktop are called icons. These icons represents file, folders, applications, etc. By double clicking it we can open that particular thing. At the bottom of the desktop, last downside, the long bar called the taskbar is available. To the left of the taskbar, start button is there. Okay, let us see the view of desktop. You can see the picture which I have just kept here. By that you can get the idea. See, wallpaper is there, backside Windows wallpaper, blue color. Then taskbar is there, downside, that downside it is there. Then start button is at the left side on the taskbar. Even some computer icon, recycle bin, and these icons, small pictures are there on the desktop. This is called as the icon. By clicking on that particular application or any file can be opened. Let us go ahead on the computer icon. First is their computer icon. It displays all the storage areas of the computer. Through the computer icon you can access all drives, files and folders on the computer. In the picture you can see easily that hard disk partitions are shown there. You can easily see those things. So see, local disk C, local disk D, new volume F. So by this you can open anything by just clicking by mouse. When you double click on the computer icon on a window shown below appears on the screen. This screen is shown when you are clicking on the computer icon. Okay, let us move ahead. Taskbar icon, this I told you, downside bottom bar is there. Taskbar is a long horizontal bar present at the bottom of the screen. To the left of the start button, to the left is the start button. This is the start button. At the left side you can see start button is there. Then these small applications are there. Some are active applications. At the right hand side, date and time is shown. Notification area is also there if any notification comes, and shortcuts are there. The main component of taskbar are shown in that figure. You can see, just I made it zoom for you people. Next is there the task start button, which is on the taskbar. Now, if I click the task start button, let us see that start button means what? It is located on the left of the taskbar. Clicking the start button opens the start menu. This is called as a start menu. It opens and it provides access to the programs and other features. Like shutdown option is available there. Button is there. It allows user to turn off the computer. All programs, it shows us the list of programs available in our PC. Search box, we can search any particular file or folder or even any application software. Control panel, through that we can go for changing some settings of the computer. Recycle bin, files and folders deleted by the user are stored in the recycle bin. From recycle bin you can take it back, means retrieve, or you can delete it permanently, like this way. So next one is there. Next session we are going to see now file system. So our computer mostly working on the file and folders. So everything you store on your computer is stored in the form of file. File system is a way in which you give name to a file, store it and retrieve it. Retrieve means to use it back. Again, we can use it at many times. Whenever we required, we can open that file and we can reuse it. There are specific naming conventions for naming files and folders, like characters that can be used, maximum number of characters, etc. Files can be separately placed into groups called folders or directories. Yellow color mostly that are shown over there by yellow color icon. Each directory or folder can contain related files and subfolders. A subfolder may contain one or more files and subfolder within. This allows easy accessibility to the user of the files. Files are managed in hierarchy. This allows you to view the files in the current directory and then move to subdirectories. Creating a folder. How to create a folder in our computer. So I will just show you. First I will read it for you. See that the steps for creating a folder. When you are opening any that new computer or something, my computer, suppose I open computer, so in that new folder, by this arrow it is shown here, you can see the new folder option. You have to just click on that. After clicking on that one, you will get one new folder and then you can rename that. By default name comes new folder, so you can give the name whichever you want and then it will be your new folder. Sorry. Or next, one more procedure is there to make a folder. You just, for empty place, blank space, you just right click. In that new option comes, one small pop-up window will come, the new option, you just move the mouse cursor on that new, again one more list will come outside. In that list, file, folder, like these options are available. So folder option you have to select, the new folder will be automatically appear on the screen. So this way you can create a folder. So creating the file, how to create a file? The same way how I shown you. Right click at the empty space, then select on new, means carry your mouse cursor on new button or new word. Immediately right side one window or one list will come out. In that you can select any type of file, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Notepad, any file you select, that file will be created, and then you can give name to that file and you open and work in that file. Renaming folders and files. How to rename the folder? Suppose I have given name, or I did not give the name, it is new folder only. I want to give the name SPIS. So just right click on that folder. In that menu, options are available there. You can see rename option is there. So just click on that rename option, you can use that, or just select the file, press F2 button, you can rename the folder. Like this way you can use the rename file or folder option. You can even rename the file also, no problem. Deleting files or folders. How to delete that? To delete the file or folder, click on the file or folder, press the delete key one way, directly that file will be deleted, or right click and select delete option. From the shortcut, that file or folder will be deleted. Next is there copying files and folders. How to copy from one place to other place? Copying, it means the same file or folder, we are going to make a duplicate copy to another place. That is called as the copying. So how to do that? Again, I have shown here by picture. You just right click on that particular folder, like I have clicked on presentation, then one list have come. So here cut copy options are there, copy is selected. You just click on that copy where you want, open that particular folder or place, and then right click again and then paste option you can select. The file will be copied over there. A duplicate file will be available at that place. Another way, simply you can use Ctrl C button for copy the file or folder, and wherever you want, at which place, open that folder, and Ctrl V button you press. That is the shortcut key. By that file will be make its duplicate copy. So it is that Ctrl C, Ctrl V, it is shown over here. Drag and drop also you can do. Control key you have to just press and move that file by mouse cursor. It will be drag and drop method. It will be copying. Moving file and folder. See, now we have seen copying. Copying, it means making a duplicate file. But moving file means from the original place we are removing that file and putting at the different place. So this is called as moving from one place to another place. See, the option is there. I have just placed here one more, the same way, presentation file, and then you can just select the cut option. By that cut option you can cut the file from this place, and wherever you want you can just paste it out by Ctrl V, or right click again paste option. By that way you can do it. Ctrl X is there for cutting shortcut, and Ctrl V for paste. So by this way you can move the file or folder. Now permanently deleting files and folder. First we have seen the delete the file. If I delete the file, it goes in recycle bin. That folder, that icon is there, recycle bin, you can see. Now if I want to delete that permanently from my computer, my PC, because though it is in recycle bin, it is carrying some memory, it is holding some memory, so my memory is wastage. If I don't want that file, I can delete it permanently also. So for that you can right click on that recycle bin icon and select the button empty recycle bin, so it will be delete permanently. If I want to restore it, I want to use it again, so I can open that particular recycle bin, and then another option is there, restore all items. Two options are there, empty the recycle bin and restore all items. Or selected files also we can restore. Restore means again from where I have deleted, it will go to that place again. So by that way you can do it. Restore, you can do single file also by this way. So this is very, very important thing. So here I am going to stop my video. My dear students, read these things very carefully, watch this video, and keep in mind these are very simple concepts, but we are always avoiding simple concepts. So don't avoid these things. This, after completion of these all parts, the three parts are there of this video. Okay, so after finishing these three parts, I will upload there one complete PowerPoint presentation as well as one PDF file, so that you can keep it for your record. You can note it down in your notebook, and after this I will give some exercises to you people. That exercises you have to solve activities will be there that you need to write it down, exercises and activities in your notebook. So please do study well, stay home, stay happy and stay safe. All the best. Do study very well. If you have any doubt, any point, any problems, please ask me by my private number, WhatsApp number. You can message me, or on group also you can ask, doesn't matter. But respond me whenever you are watching this video. Respond me that yes sir, we have read this, we have watched this and we understood this. If you have any doubt, immediately call me or message me. So bye bye.